Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 guitars. We have a Les Paul Standard on the bench. It's got soap bar P90s in it, whatever you want to call them. We're taking the bridge position pickup out and we're putting in something pretty interesting. Let's get to work. So I'm a little off here. It looks like we're crooked, but we're not. I have the guitar on the bench a little odd. He wants the covers off. This one's coming out. He wants to leave the cover off of that one because we're putting in a lace, what is it called? Death bar, death bar. I don't know. Pretty interesting pickups. They're not. They don't have windings. Look them up. LACE. They're common pickups, and a lot of guys use them, and you get a real metal, hard sound out of them, and that's what he's after. I've already desoldered that one. It's just held in there. The weird thing is, it's going to be a little bit of a trick to get this mounted in there to where we can get the right string height off the pickup, but we can't adjust it. I've already test fitted it, and I'll show you that in a moment. But first things first, I want to see. I'm pretty sure I know which way I want to go. It's what we're testing is the ohms 2.49 in that configuration, and then I taped off the other one. I'm going to try it this way. What I did was I actually kind of just took my leads and wired it into the guitar temporarily and tapped it, and it's got more power with that readout, believe it or not. The other configuration, using an orange wire here. These are the grounds. They're together. White with black stripe and green. That's the ground. And this is one of the hot leads we're going to use. It's actually hotter the lower the ohms, impedance, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to put it in at the hottest configuration. If he doesn't like it, it's just a matter of switching around a couple of wires, and I'd be happy to do it for him. Good client. He brings me a lot of instruments, and he's always got something interesting to do. So this one's already disconnected in the back. All we're going to do, see here, I already undid it, and we're going to pull it out and try to mount this one in there. And I'm going to show you the difference. Whoops, because I'm in here crooked. I'm going to show you the difference on camera before I get to soldering it in and coming back. I thought that usually these things go in directly into the wood. They don't on this one. There is actually a plate, a metal plate here, and it's got a drill hole there, and there. And they're threaded. And yeah, those screws, they're routed out in the bottom to accept the screws. And then there's springs underneath like there normally would be in like a humbucker, so you can adjust the pickup height. On the lace Death Eater that we're putting in there, or the Death Bar, I think it's called a Death Bar. It's not exactly the same configuration at all. So I did a little bit of test fitting, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to get it centered about where I want it, which is basically in the middle of the bridge. And one of the holes lines up very nicely. One of them does not. So we're going to have to drill a hole in the pickup ear to accept into the plate that's already in place, and I'm going to use that. And I had to cut down. I have one screw that's exactly correct, and one of them I had to cut down a little bit because on this side the route is not as deep as it is on that side. I hope you're following all of that. Now, the tricky part is I have to kind of try to figure out. It looks like it's, I know my head is probably in the way. It looks like it's just to the inside. Not by much. Yeah, that's going to work perfectly. That's actually going to work perfectly, and it's almost split exactly in the middle here, and that's what you want. Of course, you want your strings going over the magnets. Is it better this way? No, it's better this way, most definitely. I really don't want to try to split the difference and split hairs. It's going to go there, and then we're going to drill another hole right there on the inside. See where this hole is right here? We're going to drill one inside closer to the pickup itself, and then put our screw in. Yeah. And by the way, these ears are threaded. They're already threaded, and it's like hard plastic or nylon. I'm not sure which. So we can't have that because we're going into a threaded hole down here. You can't have it go through a threaded hole here and a threaded hole there. It won't pull down. So we're going to have to oversize this hole because we're going to make a new hole there. Yeah. We're going to make a new hole there anyway. We're going to have to oversize this one and eliminate the thread so that this screw can go in and out easily. And then we're going to drill that one. So stand by while I finagle that, and then I'm going to try to fish the wire through there. I hope we have enough. We should, to get to the control cavity where I need to be. And then we're going to solder it up and string it and do a setup, and we're going to hear what this sounds like. These are already pretty good pickups. I mean, it's a Les Paul, but he's always chasing different tone, and I applaud him for that. He's always trying different things. He's got many different guitars, and he uses them for many different types of music. So he's always chasing a different tone combination, and this is something that's easily reversed. If he doesn't like it and he wants to put that back in there, it's easily reversed. We can put it right back in. Nothing's getting drilled out of here. The only thing that's getting modified is the pickup ears a little bit. Now, follow. So I'll be back momentarily. Stand by. So that is what it looks like when it's in there. Now, I did this little exercise before I, did all of this modification to get that pickup in there. I wanted to make sure that we were going to have the correct string height away from the pickup. In other words, the right pickup height. He originally wanted to put 2 of these in, or one up here first and then later on maybe that one. And up here, this pickup never would have worked, but down here, it literally is almost perfect. You can just get the tool under it. It is so close to perfect if you can keep the magnet from grabbing it. So what you're doing is you're grabbing these last 3 frets as if there were a string on there, and you can just get the measurement tool under there, and the same on the other side. It's a little closer, but not by much. Not by much. So yeah, we should be good. I am going to pause briefly. Looks like this side wants to go down a little farther. Am I seeing that correctly? Or maybe there's a wire under it? No. Don't know. It is. Yeah, it looks like that side could go down a little bit more. Let me get my Mr. Magoo eyes on. is sticking up slightly. I wonder if there's more room down under there for the screw. Yeah, see, modifications, you always run into something. Trying to make sure I got clearance for more of the screw to go farther down, and I do. So why did it not pull up the rest of the way? Let's see. Might have to pull it back out and see why it's not going down all the way. Oh, there we go. It just wanted to be encouraged. I didn't have it tightened all the way down. Now, we should get this measurement because I tested it and it was fine. Yeah, there we go. I didn't have it down all the way. It felt like it was tightening up. It is so right there. And then this side, same thing. I mean, it's like perfect. The perfect pickup height, as if there were a string on there, and you touch the bottom fret and you measure the pickup height. You've seen me do it a million times. Got that. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder it in there. I've got my solder iron all hooked up. We just probably should tin these again. And factory Gibson job wires just hanging. They didn't zip tie them and get them down out of the way. I hate that. I hate that. My OCD's kicking up. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I can't have it that way. Wires out of the way here, separated. I'm not going to cooperate. Get some heat going. Let's burn something. So we got one wire goes there and then the ground on the back, of course, easy peasy. And then we're going to tap test it. If we have to go the other configuration, it's just a matter of taking the one wire off of the lug, flipping it around. I have one wire taped off down here. It's just two different readings on the digital voltmeter. We're going to see which one sounds best. Pretty sure this is the one. What we're doing is making sure we're tinned. So, what I want to do, I'm going to hook up the lug first because that one's going to be the trickier one. Right there. Right there. If you could go through there, that would be great. Nice. Now all I got to do is keep everything out of the way, not burn my finger and put the ground on. What are the chances of that happening? Ground it to the back of the pot, of course. Beautiful. Make sure you got a nice ground joint. Usually all it takes is a little bit of a tug. If it's going to come off, it'll let you know. And they're both good joints. Now, before we go any further, I want to tap test, just to make sure. Although I really already sort of tap tested off the camera, just using a a couple of leads. Always a moment of truth. You know. Sounds pretty good. No way to tell how hot it is until plug it in and heat it up. And probably I would let the customer go home and play it. And then if it needs to be, we could try the other configuration, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the hotter side. Very strange pickups. Very strange pickups indeed. But yeah, everything's working. So I am going to string it up and do a setup. And I wanted to put a zip tie on this. I hate it when wires are just dangling like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think they could be neater, and they should be neater, and this will hold it down out of the way. There's a whole bundle of wires from the three-way switch to the pickups. Just like sticking up and trying to get in the way of other stuff, and I don't like it. Does it sound like I have OCD? Maybe I should go take my meds. That's it. We could have done that at the factory. Nice. Right? Now it's nice and clean. All right, I'm going to pause, string it up, and we're going to play it. Stand by. All right, we got the strings all back on. That's always fun. I used the same strings he had. They weren't old, he said, and if I could try to reuse them. And luckily for him, he had left quite a bit hanging off. He hadn't cut them off close, and that usually makes it easier. I have no idea where he had it set up, but I know one thing. He wanted it in a different tuning. C, G. Funny stuff, right? D stays the same. A. E. Which is really slack. And then G again. I wonder if we're supposed to go past. Something tells me this string's going to break. That can't be it. Funky tuning. Something's going to break. This string's going to break on me. I don't know. I've never heard of such tuning. C, G, D, A, E, G. C pentatonic new standard tuning. I don't know what the hell that means, but these two strings are really tensioned. But it does make an open chord. Some of the strings are super slack. And some of the strings are really tensioned. But it makes an open chord, and he does different fingering with it. So, yeah, not a guitar player. Client knows what he wants. I did it. That's the way he wanted it. I'm surprised that one of these two strings didn't break, only because they could probably take the tension, but they've been taken off and put back on, and that's usually the failure point. When the wire strings like that are over tension, that's when they'll snap. So, anyway, I digress. Let's make sure our setup is right, and then we're going to play it a little bit. I don't know how to play the damn thing, but I want to hear it. I want to hear it through the amp, if you know what I mean. Well, I don't know. He's been boogering around with it, and it's too straight. But it's got some relief in it, but not enough. But I'm going to say for sure we need to open that up slightly. He said do a setup on it. I'm going to do that because that's just too straight. And I can tell you he's got his pickups too close. You can't have that. I know for sure that one needs to go down because we had it out of the guitar. We had it out of the guitar. I'll leave it there. That looks pretty good. And the other side, oddball stuff. Yeah, way too close, way too close. We're going to have to drop that one down. There we go. I think this one needs to go down on this side too. Give me a moment while I finish setting this up. This one we can't move, but we know it's where it's supposed to be. Perfect. And perfect. So my work is good. My work is good. Actually, this one we could actually back off a little bit. If it'll come up, I will try to do that and see if it will pull up. But it's probably set where it's going to stay because they're bottomed out. There's no spring under them. That's good. That's good. I'm going to put you on pause while I adjust the neck relief a little bit and get the string height where I like it. He's going to bitch, but I know darn well it's too low for as slack as some of these strings are, especially on the treble side. It's not too far off, but I have to put a little relief in it, whether he wants me to or not. I'm going to. Stand by. So I like that. I literally put an eighth of a turn to put a little more relief in it, and it now measures beautifully. And it needed that. It was just too tight. It was too straight. Excuse me. We know we have good. Pickup height is set. Neck relief is set. Now all we got to do is fine tune the actual string height, and then we can plug it in and see what kind of noise this thing makes. A little tall, a little low. Thank Buddha there is a, I can't remember which one it is. Thank Buddha that there's a thing there, because these things, you know, when you're going down it's fine, but it should go down, but it doesn't want to. There, that should be enough. Probably too much. Probably too much. A little bit more. Lower it. I know he's not going to want that much. I'm setting it right below 5/64. I think that's too low, being that the way he has it tuned. Bringing the treble side up slightly because it's just too low. But I'm going to bring it up to match. It's right at 4/64. So I know him. I know he likes his action as low as it can possibly be. And the chugging and grindy stuff he's doing with this tuning and the type of music he's playing with this is probably where he's going to want it. Don't know. We'll find out. But I don't mind tweaking it later on if we have to. I'd like to get this guitar back in his hands before one of these strings pops. Pretty neat. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. That's an oddball tuning. That's the bridge pickup he put in there. I like that. That one's beefier. It's got more bass treble, but this one's going to be crunchier with a little bit of... It's brighter. It's got a... Pretty neat. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what else to play on it because it's such an oddball tuning. And I am not a guitar player. I say it over and over and over again. But hey, it's in there. I may off camera switch it the other way. Just switch those two wires just to see if it makes a difference. It will, but I don't know if it'll be brighter, hotter, change the tone dramatically. I don't know. But I'm going to do that off camera. That's, the object lesson was, wow, we did another mod on a beautiful Les Paul, but that's what the client wants, and that's what he got. If we have to reverse all this and put it back, yeah, we discussed that before we even started. Easily reversed and put back to original. No problems, no worries. We didn't modify anything in the guitar. We had to modify that little pickup to make it work right. This is Blackjack with 396 guitars. I say it all the time. You never know what's going to hit my bench, and I show you guys this stuff just to show you different things that some musicians are out there trying to. They're always chasing tone and different playability, and I applaud them for that, and I appreciate that they come to me. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and please share. We'll talk soon.